Prince Chidi returned to the palace and spoke with his parents. "Mother, father, I met someone interesting in the village today." In the small, bustling village of Umyoba, nestled between rolling hills and lush green farms, there lived a girl named Ada, known for her fiery temper and sharp tongue. She was a constant source of trouble. She quarreled with everyone, friends, neighbors, even her own parents. No one in the village was spared from her rude behavior. One sunny afternoon, Ada was sent to the farm to fetch some yams for dinner. As she approached the farm, she saw an older woman working diligently, her back bent over the crops. Ada recognized her as one of the village women but didn't know her name. "Hey, you there!" Ada shouted, her tone already impatient. "Get out of my way. I need to get some yams." The woman looked up, startled by the rude interruption. "Good afternoon, my dear," she replied kindly. "The yams are just over there. You can help yourself." Ada frowned. "I don't need your permission," she snapped. "Just mind your own business." The woman's face fell, but she said nothing more. She simply returned to her work, though her eyes lingered on Ada for a moment longer, filled with a mix of sadness and disappointment. When she returned home, her friend Amoka was waiting for her at the door. "Ada, you won't believe what I heard in the market today," Amoka began excitedly. But before she could continue, Ada interrupted her. "Not now, Amoka," Ada snapped. "I'm not in the mood for gossip." Amoka's face fell. "You know, Ada, you should really try to be nicer to people. It wouldn't hurt you to be kind once in a while." Ada rolled her eyes. "Oh, spare me the lecture. If people weren't so annoying, I wouldn't have to be rude." Amoka sighed and shook her head. "One day, Ada, you pushed the wrong person too far." The next day, the village was abuzz with excitement. The king was coming to visit the farms and speak with the villagers. It was a rare and special occasion, and everyone was eager to see him. Ada's parents urged her to be on her best behavior. "Please, Ada," her mother pleaded. "Just this once, try to be polite and respectful." Her father added, "The king is a wise and kind man. Show him the respect he deserves." Ada huffed but nodded. "Fine, I'll be nice. But only because you asked." As the king's entourage arrived, the villagers gathered to welcome him. Ada stood in the crowd, her arms crossed and her expression sullen. The king, a tall and dignified man, smiled warmly at his people and began to speak. "Thank you for your warm welcome," he said. "I am here to see how you all are doing and to ensure that everyone is well taken care of." Suddenly, the older woman from the farm appeared at the king's side. Ada's eyes widened in shock as she realized that this was the king's mother. The woman whispered something to the king, and his expression grew serious. "My mother has told me something troubling," the king said, his voice firm. "She encountered a young girl who was very rude to her yesterday. Rudeness and disrespect have no place in our village." Ada's heart pounded in her chest. She knew he was talking about her. The king's mother stepped forward and addressed the crowd. "Respect is the foundation of our community," she said. "We must treat each other with kindness and understanding. The girl who was rude to me should come forward and apologize." Ada's legs felt like lead as she stepped out of the crowd. "It was me," she said quietly, her voice trembling. "I didn't know who you were. I'm sorry." The king's mother looked at her with a gentle smile. "It doesn't matter who I am. Everyone deserves respect, whether they are a king's mother or a simple villager." Ada nodded, tears stinging her eyes. "I understand. I'm truly sorry." The king spoke again. Let this be a lesson to us all. Respect and kindness should be shown to everyone. Ada, I hope you have learned from this experience. Ada bowed her head. I have. I promise to be better. Despite her promise, Ada's behavior only changed on the surface. She became selectively rude, pretending to be respectful to elders while continuing to be blunt and quarrelsome with her peers. One morning at the village well, Ada was filling her water pot when her friend Chika approached. Ada, I heard there's a festival in the next village. Do you want to go with me? Chika asked, her voice full of excitement. Ada turned to her, frowning. Why would I want to go to a boring festival with you? I've got better things to do. Chika's face fell. I just thought it would be fun. You don't have to be so mean. Fun for you, maybe. I have no interest in wasting my time, Ada snapped back, turning her attention to her water pot. Later that day, Ada was at the market, arguing with a vendor. These tomatoes are overpriced. You're trying to cheat me, she accused, her voice loud and angry. The vendor, an elderly man, tried to remain calm. These are fair prices, Ada. Everyone else pays the same. Well, I'm not everyone else. I refuse to pay such high prices, Ada retorted, crossing her arms defiantly. A few villagers who overheard the argument shook their heads. She never changes, one murmured to another. Always looking for a fight. One afternoon, Ada was walking back from the market with a basket full of groceries. She was deep in thought, her mind occupied with the latest quarrel she had had with her friends. Suddenly, a young man bumped into her, causing her to drop her basket. Watch where you're going. Ada shouted, looking up to see who had collided with her. The young man, handsome and dressed in fine clothes, quickly bent down to help her pick up the scattered groceries. I'm so sorry, he said, his voice sincere. I didn't see you. Ada snatched the items from his hands, her temper flaring. You should be more careful. People like you always think they own the road. The young man stood up, surprised by her hostility. I really am sorry. I didn't mean any harm. Ada glared at him. Just stay out of my way next time, she snapped, turning on her heel and storming off, leaving the young man standing there, bewildered. Prince Chidi watched Ada walk away, intrigued by her fiery spirit. All his life, people had simpered and bowed to him, but Ada was different. She was outspoken and unafraid to speak her mind. Despite her rudeness, Prince Chidi returned to the palace and spoke with his parents. Mother, father, I met someone interesting in the village today. The king raised an eyebrow. Oh. And who might that be? A girl named Ada. She's very different from anyone I've met before. She's spirited, Prince Chidi replied, choosing his words carefully. The queen frowned. Ada. The same girl who was rude to me at the farm. Chidi, she may have spirit, but she lacks respect and manners. Prince Chidi nodded. I know, mother. But I believe there's more to her. I'd like to get to know her better. The king looked thoughtful. Chidi, you must be careful. Your position requires you to choose your companions wisely. Are you sure this is a good idea? I am, father. I want to see if she can change. If she can learn to temper her spirit with kindness, she could be an incredible person. The queen sighed. If you insist, Chidi, but tread carefully. This girl has much to learn. Over the next few days, Prince Chidi made an effort to see Ada. He would find her at the market or near the well, striking up conversations with her. "Hello, Ada," he greeted her one morning. "How are you today?" Ada looked at him, surprised and wary. "What do you want?" Prince Chidi smiled. "Just to talk. I enjoyed our last conversation, despite its rough start." Ada raised an eyebrow. "Why would you want to talk to me? Don't you have more important things to do?" "I find you interesting, Ada." "You're not like anyone else I've met," Prince Chidi replied honestly. Ada scoffed. "Interesting? Is that your way of saying I'm rude?" "No," Prince Chidi said gently. "It's my way of saying you're different. And I like different." Despite her initial resistance, Ada found herself warming to Prince Chidi's persistent kindness. They began spending more time together, talking about everything from village life to their dreams and fears. One afternoon, as they sat by the river, Prince Chidi turned to Ada. "Ada, you have such a strong spirit. But sometimes, that strength comes off as rudeness. Have you ever thought about using your strength to help others?" Ada looked at him, taken aback. "Help others? How?" "By standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. By being a voice for those who are afraid to speak. You have a gift, Ada. You just need to learn how to use it for good." Ada was silent for a moment, considering his words. "I've never thought about it that way." Prince Chidi smiled. "I believe you can make a difference, Ada. I see the potential in you." Over the next few weeks, Prince Chidi and Ada spent more time together, getting to know each other even better. They attended village events, worked on community projects, and continued their long conversations by the river. One evening, as they walked through the village, they encountered a group of Ada's old friends. Chika stepped forward, a smile on her face. "Ada, it's good to see you. We've missed you." Ada smiled back, a little hesitantly. "I've missed you too." Amoka joined in, looking at Prince Chidi. "You seem to be a good influence on her, Your Highness." Prince Chidi laughed. "Ada doesn't need me to be good. She just needed someone to believe in her." Ada blushed slightly but smiled. "It's true. Chidi has helped me see things differently. And I'm grateful for that." One day, while walking back from the market with Prince Chidi, Ada saw the king's mother again. She hesitated, then approached her respectfully. "Good afternoon, ma'am," Ada greeted her. "I want to apologize again for my behavior before. I've been working on changing, and I hope to earn your forgiveness." The king's mother smiled warmly. "Ada, I have seen the changes in you. You have my forgiveness and my respect. Keep growing and learning. You have great potential." Prince Chidi beamed with pride as he stood beside Ada. "See, Ada. You're doing wonderfully." Ada nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. "Thank you, ma'am. I will continue to do my best." Despite the positive changes, there were still moments when Ada's old temper flared up. One afternoon, while helping organize a village event, she clashed with another volunteer over the arrangements. "This setup is all wrong," Ada snapped. "We need to change it." The volunteer, an older woman, frowned. "Ada, we have already agreed on this layout. We can change it now." "But it's not practical," Ada insisted, her frustration growing. Prince Chidi, who had been watching from a distance, stepped in. "Ada, can we talk for a moment?" Ada reluctantly followed him to a quieter spot. "What is it, Chidi?" Prince Chidi looked at her gently. "Remember what we talked about?" using your strength to help, not hurt. Sometimes, compromise is necessary. Ada sighed, her anger dissipating. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll try to be more understanding. Prince Chidi smiled. That's all I ask. You're doing great, Ada. Just remember to be patient with yourself and others. One evening, as they sat by the river, Prince Chidi took Ada's hand. Ada, I have something important to ask you. Ada looked at him, her heart pounding. What is it? Prince Chidi took a deep breath. Ada, will you marry me? Tears welled up in Ada's eyes as she nodded. Yes, Chidi. I will. The village celebrated the news of the engagement with joy and excitement. Ada's parents were proud of the woman she had become, and the villagers welcomed her with open arms. On their wedding day, as Ada stood beside Prince Chidi, she felt a deep sense of gratitude and love. She had come a long way from the rude, quarrelsome girl she once was. With Prince Chidi by her side, she knew she could continue to grow and make a difference in the lives of those around her. As they exchanged vows, the king's mother looked on with pride. She had seen the potential in Ada and had watched her blossom into a strong, compassionate woman. From that day forward, Ada and Prince Chidi worked together to lead the village with kindness, respect, and a shared commitment to making their community a better place for everyone. Their love story was a testament to the power of belief, patience, and the transformative nature of love. As Ada and Prince Chidi settled into their new roles as leaders of the village, they continued to grow and learn from each other. Ada's fiery spirit was now tempered by Chidi's patience and wisdom, and together, they made a formidable team. One afternoon, Ada and Prince Chidi were sitting by the river, reflecting on their journey together. Chidi, do you remember the first time we met? Ada asked with a smile. Prince Chidi chuckled. How could I forget? You were so angry with me for bumping into you. Ada laughed, shaking her head. I was so rude. I can't believe you still wanted to get to know me. I saw something in you, Ada, Prince Chidi said softly. I saw a strong, passionate person who just needed a little guidance. And I'm so glad I took that chance. Ada leaned her head on his shoulder. Thank you for believing in me, Chidi. You've helped me become a better person. And you've helped me see the world in a new way, Prince Chidi replied. Together, we've made a difference. As time went on, Ada and Prince Chidi's family grew. They had children who inherited their parents' strength and compassion. Ada taught them the importance of kindness, respect, and standing up for what was right. One day, as Ada and Prince Chidi sat on the porch of their home, watching their children play, Ada turned to her husband with a contented smile. Chidi, I never imagined my life would turn out this way, she said. I used to be so angry and rude. But now, I feel at peace. Prince Chidi took her hand in his. You've come a long way, Ada. Your journey has been remarkable. And I am so proud of you. Ada squeezed his hand. And I am grateful for you. Thank you for believing in me, for standing by me, and for loving me. Prince Chidi kissed her forehead. Always, my love. Always.